Greetings, 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 greetings. Good evening, everyone. What's going on? What's going on? Brother Kick Rocks, my sister Mahogany. What the deal is? What go on? We're about to get into some information right now. All right. Let me make sure I have audio on Facebook. Give me 1 second. Yep, you good? Greetings. We got audio on Facebook. How is everybody doing, man? Hope everybody's good. We just had a beautiful gathering, within our community. We're doing some things behind the scenes, and I keep telling people, man, don't say we never invited you guys, because I do the emails, and I come on here and I do the videos and I invite you. You know what I'm saying? So we making moves, and I encourage everybody to be a part of what we're doing. Brother D Sago, what the deal? Brother T Bridge, T Hawk, what the deal? All right. So we're going to get into this, my brothers and sisters. First off, I would like to thank our ancestors for continued guidance and protection, and just the clarity of mind and information. I tell everybody I'm here to serve my purpose, and I only have one mission, one purpose, and that's to restore our birthright. I'm so focused, it's not even funny. That's all I'm focused on, because once we do that, it's going to solve the majority of our problems. It won't solve all the problems, but it will be the beginning, the foundation of solving our problems as indigenous people of this land. You feel me? So I'm going to continue to play my part. We have the King I Am Wise watching on Facebook. So welcome to the build. Welcome to the build. All right. So in this build, we're going to talk about birthright citizenship. That's what we're going to talk about. Once again, most people are confused, with so many things going on, and people don't know how to interpret things. So I'm going to, make an attempt to put things in perspective. You dig? Why go on Zazie? Why go on Empress Zazie? Big up yourself. All right, big up yourself. We have Melpass 4. Thank you for being on the build. I'm going to get right into this. I'm going to share my screen because I know some people got to go to work tomorrow. So I'm going to get right into the build. If you can't catch the live, then by all means, catch the recording. But we're going to get into this. All right, here we go. First things first. Get right into this. Let me see which one I'm going to start off with first. I'm going to start off with, all right, the Dred Scott case. That's the first thing I'm going to talk about. Now, I've done videos about that, but in lieu of what's happening right now, the atmosphere of what's happening, I need my brothers and sisters to know, really get the gist of what's taking place. All right. Here we are. Brother D Walker, welcome. Welcome. Let this thing populate real quick so we could get into this. All right. We're going to talk about the 13th Amendment. We're going to talk about the 14th Amendment. We're going to talk about a couple of things so you're able to get those things in perspective. Now, some of you may or may not be familiar with the Dred Scott case. If you're not familiar with the Dred Scott case of 1857, I suggest you do some research on that. Now, I always tell you, whatever I tell you, whatever I teach, don't believe anything that I say. If I ask you to believe me, I'm lying to you, because in the word believe is the word lie. I don't deal with beliefs, systems. I deal with the knowing facts. If I don't know, I will seek, but I refuse to deal with belief systems. So if you don't know, once again, what the Dred Scott case is about of 1857, do your own due diligence, do your research, and find out what it is. While the Dred Scott decision was never directly overturned by the Supreme Court itself, now, the Supreme Court made the decision to implement the Dred Scott case, that any individual that's of African descent can never be a part of the United States, because the United States was set up only for white people. Now, please, let us not get confused with what white people meant. In 1776, the people that you call white today, they were not called white. I have to explain that for y'all. All right? They were not called white. You feel me? They were not called white. So therefore, the white people that are being referred to here are so-called black Europeans, foreigners. It was set up for them and their children. And of course, later it included pale-skinned people. Pale-skinned people, the civil rights was about pale-skinned people, particularly pale-skinned women. Our people always get caught up in the middle of these beefs and these rifts between foreigners on our land. So pay attention to what I'm teaching you here tonight. You feel me? We have always been used as scapegoats. I'm going to repeat this. The Dred Scott case, when it was made law, so to speak, or when it was put into law as a Supreme Court ruling, it stated that anyone of African descent could never be a citizen of the United States. Even if we are not Africans, that was pretty much a coined term that was put in place to keep us out of this private society called the United States. It was only meant for the haves to enslave the have-nots. And people who look like us were not supposed to be included in the haves. Even if we had the land, we had the titles, allodial titles to the land, all that was taken away from us. All right? But however, most people think that the Dred Scott case was overturned, but it was never overturned. And I'm going to prove it to you in this lesson this evening. So pay attention. While the Dred Scott decision was never directly overturned by the Supreme Court itself, it is widely considered, it's a consideration that be effectively overturned by the 13th and the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, which abolished slavery and granted citizenship to all persons born in the United States respectively. Therefore, by statement, the Dred Scott decision was never overturned. It's technically true, but misleading due to the subsequent amendments effectively negating its ruling. Now, doesn't that sound like a contradiction? Because if the Supreme Court was the one who made the ruling and the Supreme Court did not overturn it, it doesn't matter what the 14th Amendment did or the 13th Amendment did. The ruling was it was never overturned. So assuming or considering that it was overturned by the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment, that is a problem. That is a problem. It was never overturned. And I'm going to give you some examples of that, where it was actually, they wanted to use it in 2021. All right, let's proceed. Keep that in mind. Next, we're still going to look at the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment and what it was supposed to do. And ask yourself the question, did it do what it was supposed to do? Let's read. Reading is fun for the mental. This whole thing is about the birthright citizenship thing. We'll dive into a couple of other things, but I'm going to stay on point. I'm going to stay focused. I'm not going to digress. We really have to hit that where, hit the nail on the head, right? The 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution are part of the Reconstruction amendments and were ratified after the Civil War. The Civil War had nothing to do with us indigenous people. The Civil War always had to deal with immigrants. I'm going to repeat that. The Civil War had nothing to do with us indigenous people. The civil rights was always about immigrants. You feel me? Particularly pale-skinned immigrants. All right? The granted new rights to African Americans and other citizens and established the principle of equal protection under the law. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you feel protected under the law? Now, that may be a rhetorical question, so I'm going to answer it for you. No. Go look at the jail system. Who pretty much, in terms of ethnicity, what is the ethnicity of the jail population? You know, that's over 70%, 75%. It's our people. So the 14th Amendment is not working for us. It's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not protecting us. The 13th Amendment ratified the 1865 Amendment, abolished slavery and involuntary servitude in the United States. Okay, the 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868. This amendment established citizenship rights and equal protection under the law. It also overturned the Dred Scott versus Sanford case, which ruled that Black Americans were not citizens. But it did not overturn it. It didn't, because the Supreme Court never did. It was an assumption. It was a consideration that the 14th Amendment did that. The 13th Amendment did that, but it didn't. And look around your communities and you tell me if I'm telling you a lie. This is the reason why we are still at the bottom of the barrel, because we think we are citizens of the United States, but we are not. That society was never made for us to thrive. Now, don't get me wrong. They're going to choose one or two people and make them successful to make you think that, oh, but it's working. That is the dangling carrot that they put in front of the horse, and they let one or two get a little bite. And then when the rest come to get a bite, no, they close the door. That's what the system is. You feel me? Now, I always ask you to keep in mind that don't get confused. The pale man is just the gatekeeper. And I'm not excusing him from anything, because he has a right as much to play in all of this. But the people that's truly running this thing are people who look just like us. The so-called Black nobles and their children, they know who they are. They know who they are. They look like us, but they are not us. Every skin folk and kinfolk. Don't get tricked. People who are constantly calling you Black, they are not our people, I'm telling you. I mean, I know a lot of old people call themselves Black because of ignorance, right? But you'll know what I'm talking about soon enough. Let us go to the next one. Okay? We are still going to talk about the 14th Amendment. You did. Let me explain something to y'all. You see, us as American Indians, that's why we are mentioned in the Constitution. That's why we are mentioned in the Northwest Ordinance. That was put in place to protect us. Not you being Black, not you being African American. Now, this is something that you have to allow to marinate. It was put in place regardless of what was going on. There had to be some concession made to protect the original people. However, if we get to trick them and make them think there's something else and they fall for the okie doke, that's on them. But they can't say we didn't put it in the Constitution. They can't say we didn't put it in the Northwest Ordinance. They can't say we didn't give them treaties. They can't say we didn't give them resolutions. They can't say we didn't give them the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. My people, you've perished because you don't want to step up and be who you are. So you're going to learn the hard way. The 14th Amendment, Section 1, all persons born or naturalized in the United States, pay attention, not just naturalized, born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States and of the state where they reside. So therefore, every single individual with a United States birth certificate is a born citizen. It is a born citizen. So if you think this is only going to affect the so-called people they call the illegals, you are mistaken. Okay? Now they are using this argument as to say, well, these illegal aliens, they come here and they are taking the low-paying jobs. What are they insinuating, my brothers and sisters? So let's get rid of the illegal aliens that's doing the little jobs that they normally do. And who is going to replace them? Who do you think it is? Yes, that's us. The people they consider to be the lower echelons of society. So they are actually mad that all these other immigrants, particularly coming from South America and places like Mexico, no disrespect, they come in, they're doing their work, they're doing their jobs. Some of them don't bother nobody. They're mad that these people are doing these jobs because they want to see you doing it. They want to see us doing it. Because that's how they see you. That's how they see us. You feel me? We have to step up and step into our rightful place. We have every grounds lawfully to do that. We have to come together and make sure that the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People becomes law. We can't spend too much time being distracted. It's all a distraction. Everything that's going on is a distraction. This ain't got nothing to do with us. Nothing whatsoever. We were not citizens of the corporation. By default, we are not citizens of the corporation because the 1924 Indian Citizen Act, it said that the United States made everyone a citizen with a provision that it did not impair you being an American Indian. In other words, did it take your land? They did. Did we lose our languages? Yes, we did. Did we lose our identity? Yes, we did. So therefore, by default, you are not a United States citizen. Even when you look at it from an American Indian perspective. That's why we are dealing with what we are dealing with, my brothers and sisters. Because there's nothing in place to protect us. It doesn't apply to us. And the reason why it don't apply to us is because you're calling yourself Black and African American. That is the problem. And you hear people, ignorant people talk about, oh, well, do you think if you identify as an American Indian, it's going to stop a police officer? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because you assumed to be Black because that's what everybody's calling themselves. We have to change that. All right. I'm going to show you that the Dred Scott case was never overturned. Pay attention. Absolutely. We are Americans. We are not American citizens. In fact, there's no such thing as an American citizen. There's no such thing as an American citizen. There is a United States citizen, not an American citizen. There is an American, but not an American citizen. American is our race. That's a race of people. When the whole concept of race was invented and created, a race was created called American. And you're absolutely correct. We are Americans. However, but not American citizens. You're absolutely correct because there's United States citizen. I totally agree with you on that one, okay? Let us go to the next. I'm going to show you and prove to you that the Dred Scott case was still and is still in effect. Pay attention. Republican group cites notorious Dred Scott ruling as a reason Kamala Harris can be president. You see, people don't read. Well, let me take that back. I digress. A lot of people don't read. People such as ourselves that's always seeking information, we know we read, right? But I'm showing it to you so you could do your own research, do your own due diligence. Don't believe anything that I say. Republican group cites notorious Dred Scott ruling as reason Kamala Harris can't be president. Well, hold up. When did Kamala run for election? Wasn't Kamala just in the race against Donald Trump? So why are they bringing up the Dred Scott case, but yet still the 13th and the 14th Amendment supposedly overturned the Dred Scott case? No, it's an illusion. It was never overturned. The 14th and the 13th Amendment did not do anything. The only thing it did was took us further away from our inheritance, which is being American Indians, becoming citizens of a corporation. While Dred Scott was still in the back, making sure you don't become a citizen of the corporation. You think you're a citizen of the corporation, but you are not. It's a game that's being played. All right? This is what we're going to do. We have this exclusive club, and it's only for a certain demographic of people. This is what we're going to do. We're going to create an illusion, a shadow club. You feel me? You know what? Let me I'm going to rephrase that. It's not a shadow club because they let you in. I have a better analogy. We're going to create a club. And in that club, everybody could come into the club. But in the club itself, we have a VIP section. And the VIP section is not for everybody. The people in the VIP section, they are the haves. And the people that's in the regular club, they are the have-nots. Now they in the same club. They see everybody walking around. Everybody could go to the bar. Everybody could do what they do. But the people that's in VIP, you could only see them, but you can't touch them. They get the special treatment. That's how it's set up in the United States. That is how it's set up in the United States. Republican group cites notorious Dred Scott ruling as reason Kamala Harris can be president. All right. The National Federation of Republican Assemblies, NFRA, has cited the infamous 1857 Dred Scott Supreme Court decision, which stated that enslaved people weren't citizens, to argue that Vice President Kamala Harris is ineligible to run for president according to the Constitution. I'm going to ask you again, if Dred Scott case was overturned, why are they using this? Can somebody explain that to me? I'm proving my point. You feel me? All right, let us go to the next one. I'm going to keep showing you some more facts that is not overturned. So we running around here thinking we're free. We're running around here, during Trump election, you had this pastor screaming, "Oh, we're free at last, we're free at last." Man, all these things, those people, they are put on the stage as actors. They are actors. They are pushing the illusion, man. They're pushing the illusion. Don't get tricked, my brothers and sisters. We got to go back to our indigenous identity. I'm telling y'all, man. All right. Can't say I didn't warn you now. Let us go to the next one. Absolutely, Mark Thunder. I'll pull that up too when I'm done. All right, I'll pull it up when I'm done. Let us go to the next one. In 2016, I'm still showing you, I'm taking you even a few years back, that it's constant that they've been pulling the Dred Scott case and making you think it was overturned. It's all a game, my people. It's all a game. In 2016, Stephen McAllister, the Kansas Solicitor General, cited the Dred Scott case decision in a legal brief to support an anti-abortion, arguing that the concept of personhood within the Constitution could be interpreted to not include a fetus, drawing a controversial parallel to the historical decision which denied citizenship to enslaved African Americans. They will not tell you it was just enslaved Americans. They have to put African in front of it, because we ain't come from Africa. But I'm showing you that they've been using the Dred Scott case without you not knowing, making you think that you are actually free, the land of the free. No. The United States is not the land of the free. It's a corporation of the wealthy. It's a corporation of the haves. All right. Now, remember this dude name? Stephen McAllister? Check this out. Check this out. Here we go. I'm giving you all the documents. Go back to the video and take your notes and go do your own research, because I don't want you to believe anything that I say. In the word believe is the word lie. So I'm giving you the information. Do your due diligence and make your own decision on how you want to live your life. But you're going to learn a tough lesson if you want to keep running around here calling yourself Black and African American. Like I tell people before, if you truly think you're African, then just pick a country and say that's what you are. Go to the embassy and see if they'll give you citizenship. I guarantee you they won't. All right? Let us rock. Stephen McAllister, the same dude in 2016, all right, that used the Dred Scott case. He's sworn in as a U.S. attorney for Kansas. Thursday, January 25th, 2018. Those are the type of people that's actually in office, that's running for office. Those are the type of people that you vote in, that's using the Dred Scott case to get things done in Congress. And those are the people that you are voting into office. The Honorable Clarence Thomas of the United States Supreme Court administered the oath in a private ceremony today on the University of Kansas campus. McAllister was nominated by whom? Donald Trump, and confirmed by the U.S. Senate. He will be in charge of the staff of more than 100, including 50 attorneys who work in the office of Topeka. Now, let me ask you a question. If these people, they acknowledge that the Dred Scott case is still relevant and it wasn't overturned, why do you think you're a citizen of the United States? That birth certificate is an illusion. It's a corporate entity that was created on that. That's not you. That was never you. You think it's you. It was made in your likeness and image, but it's not you. You're going around calling yourself that. That is a debtor. That's a slave on that piece of paper. And you think it's you. It's a legal document because your mother signed it, and not just signed it, they put a seal on it, and it was registered in there's documents on court records at the clerk office at the registrar that you are a piece of property. Y'all think this is a game? All right then. Those who have ears, let them hear, and eyes, let them see. Because I'm showing. I'm not just talking. I'm showing y'all. All right? Like I told y'all before. Right? Trump is a double-edged sword. Trump is playing two roles. All right? The trumpet had to sound to bring in the Jubilee. So he set the stage for that. But at the same time, he's playing the other side of the fence to keep the people enslaved. So you have two choices. You could either stand up and acknowledge the Jubilee and gain back your sovereignty, or you could continue to be a slave into perpetuity. It is really up to you. You have a choice to make. So therefore, they give you a choice because you have free will. By all means, every individual must be allowed to have their free will, or else they will be violating galactic spiritual laws. So they will push the button, they will push the limit to make you think that you don't have certain rights. But when you keep pushing, applying pressure, they're going to bend, and eventually they could break. But you get scared because of fear. You don't want to step up because you're afraid. There's no reason for us to be afraid. We got to stand up and claim back what's ours. This is our birthright. Here we go. Trump pardons 2 so-called white DC cops responsible for covering up a 20-year-old so-called black man's death in 2020. You feel me? Why are they doing this and getting away with it? It is because black people don't exist. You call yourself black, you are dead in law, dead man walking. You're already dead within the eyes of the law, so they could get away with that. You feel me? Just 2 days after pardoning more than 1,500 criminals responsible for the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot, President Trump approved 2 more pardons for so-called white officers connected to the killing of Karan Hilton Brown in Washington, D.C. Trump announced his plans to pardon Terrence Sutton and Lieutenant Andrew Zabaski earlier this week. And on Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, he made good on his promise. They were arrested, put in jail for 5 years because they went after an illegal Trump falsely claimed right before the announcement. I am a friend of police more than any president that has ever been, he continued. When Hilton Brown's mother, Karen Hilton, got news of the pardon announcement, she told CNN she was shocked and started crying. Do not pardon these murderers, Hilton begged. The mother revealed she sent Trump a letter asking him to do not pardon them. Sutton and Zabavsky were convicted of conspiracy to obstruct justice and obstruction of justice, according to Politico. Sutton was also found guilty of second-degree murder in the Hilton Brown's death. In September 2024, both officers were sentenced to a combined 9.5 years behind bars for attempting to cover up Hilton Brown's killing, according to Fox DC. The 20-year-old victim was killed in November 2020 after a police pursuit led to him crashing his moped into an SUV, according to the CNN. At the time of the fatal crash, Hilton Brown was not wearing a helmet, reports say. All right. So my brothers and sisters, and we could look at so many different, scenarios where black people, and I'm saying black because that's what they call themselves, dead in law, they are victims of such crimes, and these people are pardoned. The reason why they are pardoned, a couple of reasons. You think you are the entity on the birth certificate. So when they take you out, that's literally called liquidation. They are liquidifying, or they are liquefying the corporation. That's what they're doing. And they're cashing out. I mean, I'm letting y'all know what it is. They're cashing out. So you're being liquidated. That's one aspect of it on paper. Now, in reality, when it happens, it's because you are a dead man or a dead woman walking. So if they take your life, it's okay, because in the system, you don't exist. I hope I'm getting to y'all in this video and these lessons that I bring to y'all, man. Let us go to the next joint. At some point, we got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. I don't know how much more, I'm going to have to come on here and keep talking about the same thing over and over, but just giving you different scenarios. Let us look at the equal employment opportunity. Okay, everybody's in an uproar about that. Oh, well, our ancestors fought for all of this. No, our ancestors did not fight for none of that, because that had nothing to do with us. We have always been the scapegoat because we're the original people of the land. So therefore, we are the only ones that could make laws. We are the only one that could make laws, not them. So if we sanction, if we support what they're doing, by default, we are the ones implementing the law. The only problem is we are not the ones benefiting from what's being implemented. That's why the so-called black vote is so important. You feel me? Accordingly, Executive Order 1246 of September 2024, 1965, equal employment opportunity is hereby revoked. For 90 days from the date of this order, federal contractors may continue to comply with the regulatory scheme in effect on January 20th, 2025. So Trump rescinded that or revoked that. And our people, they're up in an uproar. Man, this ain't had nothing to do with us. That was about the pale women that wasn't working and couldn't get jobs because their husbands told them to stay home. And our people took up that burden, trying to make it think like it's theirs. They were paid to do that. My brothers and sisters, open up your mind, man. We were not civilians. We didn't need civil rights because we were still the indigenous people of the land. That is facts. We were not supposed to be a part of this system, but people were paid to pull us into the system. All right. Let us go look at the lawful definition of a civilian. I've already done this, but I'm going to show it to you again for the purpose of this video, of this lesson. A civilian. This is from Black's Law Dictionary. A civilian, one who is skilled or versed in civil law, a doctor, a professor, or a student of civil law. Also a private citizen, as distinguished from such as belong to the Army and Navy. Well, you're not a private citizen, because if you are the public and you have public servants, how can you be private? A private citizen is a whole different category than a public citizen. So-called black people, so-called African Americans, so-called Hispanics, you feel me? And the lower echelons of so-called white people, they are public citizens. Doctors, professors, students of laws, they are civilians, they are private citizens. Private citizens don't go through what public citizens do. You feel me? The Jewish community are private citizens. Now, y'all see the difference? I'm showing you the difference. But regardless whether it's a private citizen or a public citizen, it ain't got nothing to do with us. We are indigenous. We are the American Indians. That's what we need to stand as. We're in a whole different category. We are protected by the Constitution. Stop calling yourself a 14th Amendment citizen of the corporation. We don't need anybody to do us any favors. So that's who a civilian is. Okay? Black's Law Dictionary. That's a civilian. So when they take you to civil court and they tell you it's a civil matter, they're insinuating that you know law. They're insinuating that you're a doctor. They're insinuating that you're a private citizen. Well, hold up. If I'm a private citizen, why am I in a public court with everybody else in the public? My case should be closed. It should be a closed case where there's nobody else in the room because I'm a private citizen. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. I don't even know how else to break these things down to y'all, man. You dig? I don't even know how to break it down. And you're absolutely right. Private citizen is an oxymoron. It is. So the bottom line is, we as indigenous people, we need to stand up as indigenous people. We need to stand up as the American Indians that we are. All right? That's our only way out. I'm going to go back to the 1965 joint. Let me share my screen just to reiterate. Let me see. Hold up for a second. Let me stop sharing. Give me 1 second, please. Pull that up. 1965. I got it right here. Present my screen. Boom. Boom. 1965. I'm going to just touch on that one more time. Okay? The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. My brothers and sisters, let me explain something to y'all, right? We were supposed to be in a position when all these other immigrants come into our land. We were supposed to be the ones receiving benefits from taxes that they pay. We should not be paying taxes as indigenous people in this land. We have been bamboozled. We have been fooled. We are being played. And I'm going to give you a very, very simple analogy, and I've given it before. If I come into your home and you invited me as a guest, and then 50 years later, 100 years later, I'm in your house, but I'm telling you, you got to pay me rent in your house. You cannot go in your refrigerator to take anything. You got to pay me to go in your fridge to take an apple. The water that's in your refrigerator, yes, it's yours, but now you got to pay me for that. Well, before you came into my home, I was able to plant food in my backyard. But now that you're here, you took over my crib, and all of a sudden, oh, if I got to grow food in my backyard, I got to get a license. I can't do it. My brothers and sisters, that's what happened to us. That's what happened to us. So the left wing and the right wing look at it as a coin. And I spoke about that earlier in our community, right? Look at it as a coin. You have the head, the tail, but the coin has three sides. You're talking about the sides right now. So we have the left wing, the right wing, and we are caught in the middle as the sides. And we keep picking the head or the tail or the left or the right, when the truth of the matter is, when you take a coin, you could put it on the side, and that coin will stand on its own. Oh my goodness. Whoa, where did I come up with that? I didn't even think about that earlier. Ancestors working. So let me explain something to y'all. In 1965, that whole employment joint, it wasn't about us, because we were still a self-sufficient people. We didn't have to beg nobody for nothing. But they tricked us into fighting that fight, and we became the picture of the civil rights, aka American Indian civil rights. You feel me? That ain't got nothing to do with us. So let's leave this people's business alone and focus on our business. Focus on building ourselves. Focus on protecting ourselves. Let us forget our minor differences. It had nothing to do with us. Nothing whatsoever. So I'm going to say this again. It's a coin. The head, the tail, and the sides. We are the middle of the coin. The left wing, the right wing, we are caught in the middle. But hear what I'm saying. If you take a coin and you put the coin on its side, it will stand. And when it stands, it's facing up. It doesn't focus on the left. It doesn't focus on the right. So let us use that analogy. Let's stand up. Keep our head up. Keep our head straight forward and mind our business. And come together and do what we got to do. And that's my message in concluding this build. I'm not asking for any donations. I'm not asking you to give me anything. All I'm asking is for us to come together. That's it. That's it, man. Let's stand up, even on your own. Stop calling yourself black. I detest hearing the term black Indian. There's no such thing as a black Indian. We're just the American Indians, period. You don't have to put a color in front of it, because there's only one American Indian, and that's us. Period. Point blank. We don't have to beg anybody for anything. We don't have to prove anything to anybody. Trump know who we are. Biden know who we are. They all know who we are. Obama knew who we are. What you call it? Umar Johnson with his sellout ass know who we are. You feel me? Let me show y'all something else. Let me see if I could pull that up for you guys real quick. Give me 1 second, please. Boom. Where it's at. Boom, boom, boom. Let me show you, if I could show you this real quick. Give me a second. Those are the kind of people that they put in place You feel me? To confuse our people. Let me show you real quick. Trying to put us in Africa. Pay attention. Those people are agents, in my opinion. That's my opinion. They're agents. Here we go. All right, give me 1 second. Boom. All right, volume is up. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And check this out. Claude Anderson, all of them, they know who we are, but they are paid to put us in Africa, call us black. Check this out.
We right back.
Let me make sure this thing popular. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm almost done, guys. I know you got to go to work, school, to you know, in the AM. So here we are. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Give me 1 second. I know there's a slight delay.
We right back like we never left. Marcus Garvey has been pardoned. Dr. Umar has his Ghanaian citizenship. I said Marcus Garvey has been pardoned. Dr. Umar has his Ghanaian citizenship. I said the most honorable, the right excellent Marcus Garvey has been pardoned, and the Prince of Pan-Africanism has his Ghanaian citizenship. Shout out to all my fellow Ghanaian Africans. Shout out to my Ashanti Africans and my Ga Africans, my Volta region Africans, my Kumasi Africans, my Accra Africans, my Elmina Africans, my fellow Ghanaians. Oh yes, I pledge allegiance to the red, gold, and green, just like I pledge allegiance to the red, black, and green. I'm at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We got a school to finish for black boys. I said I'm at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We got a school to finish for black boys, and we're going to finish the school for black boys. FDMG is coming. Get on the bus or get ran over. Get on the Black Star Line or get ran over. We in the building. Hit the Cash App, $.
You hear that? Let me tell y'all something, man. This dude is an agent. You feel me? This dude is being paid to promote us being from Africa. He's back to hit the $, the Cash App, and all of this to build his school. You feel me? So I want y'all to know what's going on. Be mindful of people such as this dude. That's why I'm asking y'all. Let's come together. My email is in the link below. We are building. We are doing what we need to do. And we are working in private. You feel me? We have 2 classes sometimes during the week, or 3 sometimes. I invite everybody. I come on here. I say, all you have to do is send me an email. In the subject, put tribal. And in the message, put your name and number so I know what it is. My brothers and sisters, we got to come together. We are the ones. Those of you that's actually on here right now. Okay? I'm letting y'all know. Those of you that's on here right now who know who you truly are, we are the ones that's going to change things for our people. And I'm always asking you to stop being distracted. Be like that coin that I just spoke of. You don't have to focus on the head. Don't focus on the tail. That coin is standing on its side, and this is who we are. Let's be on the side of the left and the right, be in the middle and mind our business. You feel me? So one more thing I'm going to show you, and I'm glad my brother reminded me. Okay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let us go into the, I'm put it up right now. Let me see if I could pull this up. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Pull that up real quick. Boom. Let's pull this up and we'll conclude with this, okay? Because I know you guys got to go to work. So I'm going to shut it down. in a couple of minutes. So we'll be on here for about an hour. So that's cool. Here we are. I think we did good tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the SF-81 form. All right. By no means, I'm telling you, fill that out. If you want to, you can, and send it out and do what you got to do. Right. That's cool. I'm just pretty much looking at the breakdown of race, of the racial ethnicity on the SF-81 form. But we're going to read the form. All right. We're going to read the privacy as well. So we're going to make sure you know what you're reading. You feel me? Okay. U.S. Office of Personnel Management. Guide to Personal Data Standards. Ethnicity and race identification. Please read the Privacy Act statement and instruction before completing the form. So if you were to take the initiative to fill out that form, make sure you read the Privacy Act. That's what they're asking you to do. The first thing they want you to do, even before you read name, last name, middle name, or social or birth date, read the Privacy Act. We're going to read that. Ethnicity and race information is requested under the authority of 42 U.F.C. Section 2000 E-16 and in compliance with the Office of Management and Budget 1997 revision to the standard for the classification of federal data on race and ethnicity. Providing this information is voluntary. It's voluntary because, like I told you, they cannot force anything on you. The same way they cannot force us to be United States citizens. The same way they can't force us to be Black or African American. Everything is voluntary. You got free will. It's voluntary and has no impact on your employment status. But, you see, there's always a provision. But in the instance of missing information, your employing agency will attempt to identify your race and ethnicity by visual observation. So, my brothers and sisters, I cannot give you any type of legal advice. This is not what it is. But if I were you and I had a job, I would fill out this form and give it to my employers. That's one way of correcting your status for the record. Because you heard what they said, right? In their code. It's voluntary. However, if you don't do it and there's no information, then your employers will assume your identity or ethnicity or race by visual observation. I'm giving you a free game like I always do. This information is used as necessary to plan for equal employment opportunity throughout the federal government. The reason why you are not getting the equal employment is because you are calling yourself Black and African American, because nothing is supposed to be equal for Black people and African Americans. It also used by the U.S. Office for Personnel Management employing agency maintaining the records to locate individuals for personal research or survey response and in the production of summary, descriptive statistics, and analytical studies in support of functions for which the records are collected and maintained or for related workforce studies. Social Security numbers, SS, is requested under the authority of the Executive Order 9394, which requires the Social Security number be used for the purpose of uniform, orderly administration of personal records. Providing this information is voluntary as well. And failure to do so will have no effect on your employment status. If SS is not provided, however, there's always a provision. Other agency sources may be used to obtain it. So either way, they're going to tell you they're going to obtain that, right? Specific instructions. The two questions below are designed to identify your ethnicity and race. Regardless of your answer to question 1, go to 2. Question 1, are you Hispanic or Latino? A person of Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rican, South or Central America, or other Spanish culture or origin, regardless of race. Now, for all Puerto Ricans, they are actually Borinquen. And I'm talking about the original Puerto Ricans, right? They are Borinquen, the original Taino. Question 2, Please select the racial category or categories with which you must closely identify by placing an X in the appropriate box. Check as many as apply. Racial category, definition of the category. Let's break this down. The first thing they have, American Indian or Alaska Native, a person having origin in any of the original peoples of North, South, and Central America, and who maintains tribal affiliation or community attachment. Pay attention. Not because you're only from North America or Central America or South America. It says, and who, that's an addition. You also have to maintain your tribal affiliation or community attachment. In other words, you feel me? This is the SF-181, Ken. SF-181. All right, just so you know. I just saw your question. What's up? I'm lovely. One love. Respect. You feel me? So check this out. American Indian. Now, if you go back to my page, my clothing, my books, I'm maintaining my indigenous affiliation. You can't be out here calling yourself black and at the same time you calling yourself American Indian. It's an oxymoron. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. That's why they don't take you seriously. There's no such thing as a black Indian. There's no such thing as a white Indian either. And there's no such thing as a native Indian either. There's only one American Indian, and that's us. And Alaska Native is a whole different category. But what they're not telling you is that these people that they call the natives right now, they all came from Alaska and came here. They're from Siberia they're from Russia via Siberia, taken into Alaska, brought into the United States. An American Indian is not a native in regards to what the term means these days. So checking American Indian, you have to be an original from North America, South America, Central America, but also maintain your tribal affiliation. You don't necessarily have to be a part of a federally recognized tribe. Your own home, your family, that's your clan. You dig? That's your clan. And that's why I'm teaching my people how to operate and function as an American tribal government. That's why I've been doing the free classes. You would think, like I said, I mean, the classes would be filled where people just can't get in. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for the 50-something people that come to the class, and that's a beautiful thing. I'm grateful for them because they took the opportunity, and I'm showing them how to function as an American Indian government to create their own clan within their own home, their own tribe. Okay? Let us go to Asian. Asian, a person having origins in any of the original. Now, pay attention here, my brothers and sisters. If you realize, okay, each and every one of them, it has the word origin in it. Here we go. When it comes to American Indian, origins is right here. Okay? When we go to Asians, origins is right here. And who are considered Asians ethnically or through a race? That's original people from the Far East, Southeast Asia, or the Indian subcontinent, including, for example, Cambodia, China, India, which was not called India. It was called Hindustan or Bharat. Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Pakistan, the Philippines, on the Philippine Islands, Thailand, and Vietnam. Those are considered Asians. I'm going to come to Black and African American last. All right, we're going to go straight to Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander. As you could see, in Asian, there's also origins. Look at Native and other Pacific Islander. A person having, what again? Origins in any of the original peoples of Hawaii, Guam, Samoa, or other Pacific Islands. Let's go to white. Even if white is not a race, it's a color. Just like black, it's not a race, it's a color. African American is not a race, it's two continents. So therefore, white, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe. Those are not pale-skinned people because they are not the original people of Europe. Which took me back to my point earlier. In the 1600s and the 1700s, white people were actually the original people of Europe, and they were so-called black people. Harriet Tubman was a white woman, not in complexion, but in status, because she was a cousin of King James. She was a steward. And when she was freeing her people, the 70 exact number, 70 people that she freed, talking about slaves, no, they were actually nobles that our ancestors showed them how to go underground and send them into Canada. So Harriet Tubman was a white woman in regards to status, not skin complexion. You feel me? So from the original people of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa, well, hold up. And they're not just talking about Elon Musk. They're talking about anyone from North Africa. They could be as darker than night. They are considered white. That's why when Africans come here, they are considered white. Let us go to the big one right now in the room. Black or African American. A person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. It has origins in there, but check this out. Black racial groups of Africa. What does that mean? They are given specific countries in each and every one or specific continents of the other joint. It just says black racial groups of Africa. Africans don't call themselves blacks. They have nationalities. So what are they telling you? They're literally showing you that you're picking some identity or a race that don't exist. It is just a person having origins in any black racial groups of Africa. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Nothing whatsoever. So my brothers and sisters, I wanted to conclude with this SF-181 form. You feel me? I would suggest each and every one of you, if you have a job, bring that to your job. Okay? You feel me? All right. So I hope you guys appreciated the information. And thank you for being a part of the build. I know it's a little late and y'all stayed up. Do me a favor, please. Like I said, I don't ask anybody for donations and nothing like that. My TikTok is in the link below. I want to raise my numbers on TikTok because I want to bring that message to TikTok. So do me a favor, please, and go follow me on TikTok. All right? So I'm very thankful for that. And when you go to your job, when they give you that SF, when they give you that that W-2, whatever they give you, W-2, W-4, whatever the case is, make sure you guys let them know that you are exempt. We American Indians are not supposed to be paying taxes. We are not supposed to be paying taxes. These people are supposed to be paying us taxes. That's facts. So I strongly suggest we come together. Come together. Let's forget our differences. We'll deal with that when we get there. That's what they are using, tools of distraction to keep us separated. You feel me? I appreciate that. Thank you, brother Ephraim. You feel me? So moving forward, I encourage each and every one of you to step into your rightful identity. Claim back your birthright, my brothers and sisters. I don't care what you call yourself outside of anything, but I'm showing you what's in law. I'm showing you how our ancestors protected us in law. Yes, American Indian is a misnomer. I get it. But that was a consensus of what we agreed upon to protect ourselves, to take us back home. The Little Red Riding Hood, the Red Indians, the breadcrumbs. Mama told you. Grandmama told you. You have a little Indian in you. That was the clue to get back home, to know that you are the full Indian. We don't have percentages. People call me, well, Chief, how do I know what percentage Indian I am? We don't have percentages. You are the real thing. Everybody else have percentages because of us. Because we have the biggest admixture. So therefore they mixed in with us. Native Americans don't have that admixture because nobody mixed in with them. So therefore they are not the original people, because in all the history books, every so-called ethnic group that came into the Americas, they mixed in with the original people. Reason being, we had a matrilineal system. So they married our women. They raped our women. They kidnapped our women so that they could take our land. And what consummated the covenant and the final takeover was the Virginia Company. When Pocahontas married John Rolfe and was taken to England to have that child. And they killed her, allegedly. And as soon as they killed her, he came back into the Americas and claimed being the king of Virginia. You feel me? We are American Indians by jus sanguine. I've already broken that down to y'all. That means by blood. Everybody else are Native Americans by jus sole, born. So I'm pleading to y'all, let's come together. Let's do this for our ancestors. Let's do this for our children. Let's do this for our future generations. It's not going to take everybody to do it. Just a handful. So do me a favor, please. 2 favors I want. My Instagram, not my Instagram, my TikTok is at the bottom of the description of the video, both on Facebook and YouTube. Please go to my TikTok because I want to go on TikTok and start blasting information. So go on TikTok and follow me on TikTok, please. Also, my link is in the description below. If you would like to be a part of what we're doing, I do the free classes. All you have to do is send an email in the subject, tribal, and in the message, your name and your number. And let's organize. And let's step up on a national stage and let people know we are ready to make our moves. Okay? I'm very humbled and thankful to be in this position and was favored with such information, and not just the information, but the ability to articulate the information. Okay? So I'm thankful for that. All right, he says, yes, just to do this extremely important. It is very important. All right. All I'm doing is extending my hand to you. It's open. And everybody's welcome to the free class. So have yourself an amazing 24. Thank you for being a part of this build. May our righteous ancestors continue to guide and protect you and keep you and lift you up from wherever you at and let you know you don't need for anything. You don't want for anything. We are already abundant. All we have to do is step into our abundance, step into our inheritance. It's ours. Let's claim it. It's our birthright. And watch things change. All right? Y'all be good to each other. Be your brother's keeper. Be your sister's keeper. One love. Good night. Happy sunrest.